What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to some more Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I forgot, you didn't speak with Gilbert.
Hail, Professor. If I may introduce myself, I am Gilbert. My life has been spent as a dedicated knight. I am to accompany you on your assignment. I may have slowed a step in recent years, but I pledge to you the full extent of my abilities.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
No, Professor. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you.
Now, knowing what I know, I tried to save Gilbert as much as I could in the Blue Lion route. This time, I will do what I have to. Especially since we're going to be his enemies in a few months anyways. Well, maybe. For now, because that's right, this episode is after the C rank. It's been a minute since I've seen Edelgard's C rank. And funny enough, look at that. Obviously blocked. Can't get her C+, that makes sense. And not just that, but hers with Ferdinand, Petra, Lysithea, and Constance all blocked. And I've been hearing people say that I really need to get Hubert and Hanneman's support. Like, alright, I need you guys to be honest with me, or be as transparent as you can as far as when you say too soon, is it that I'm going too slow or that you're worried I'm going to miss it? Because if you're worried I'm going to miss it, don't be. Like, come on now. I'm getting supports like crazy. I'm going to run out of supports to find in a minute, and we can't even recruit Hanneman and Manuel right now. There was the case with the dude, though, where there were supports that were hard for me to get because, like, his Gilbert, for example, that made sense pre-time skip. And Gilbert wasn't even in the party pre-time skip. So that I understand. But Hanneman and Manuel, I'm going to get them as soon as I can, you know, and get all their support. So don't worry about that. That being said, who are we going to start with? Bernadetta. Yeah, we'll do Bernadetta and Edelgard.
Bernadetta.
Lady Edelgard, what can I do for you?
I appreciate all the effort you're making to overcome your fear of me.
Well, that's a statement.
Your dedication is commendable. However,
I'm just getting in your way, aren't I? Knew it, Bernie. You're just an intruder. Nobody wants you around. Stupid. Oh.
Bernadetta.
Yes?
The problem you keep running into is that you don't listen to what people are really saying.
That's true. She always thinks they have ulterior motives, which I can't blame her for.
That's why your efforts are in vain.
Especially
you need to listen instead of jumping to your own conclusion.
Edelgard, you wanted to say this because, well, anyways, well, I mean, she's got sound advice for most people, but for her.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Then why aren't you responding?
She's listening.
I wanted to listen until you were finished. Sorry, were you finished then?
Look at this!
I was.
Then may I please scream now?
Oh, never mind.
By all means. But please try to make it a fairly quiet one.
Just a tiny one. Wait. What was I upset about again?
Oh, no. Growth.
That's weird. I forgot why I was about to scream, and now I don't even need to. What a nice feeling.
You didn't have time to think of an ulterior motive.
You're trying your best. I know that. But even so...
But what? What did I do this time? I'm so sorry. Whatever it is. I'll go to my room and never bother you again.
Wait, you didn't let me finish. I was only going to say that...
Yeah, that was kind of abrasive. You gotta be patient when talking to Dorothea. I mean, Bernadetta, not Dorothea. We'll get to that in a second, but Linhart? they're back in this spot again. Which I should mention, somebody mentioned something about how they said broken people like to come to this spot. And they were surprised that I didn't pick that up. One, I would not assume that on somebody the first time I see them. You know, it's their C rank, entry level, and plus I'm hesitant about things I say about the Black Eagle members in general as of this moment. But anyways, and Dorothea came here too. I will pay attention to see if I agree with that statement or not, but I'll keep that in mind.
A little more crimson, maybe?
May I suggest vermilion instead?
Vermilion? I know, I see it. You don't have to say it. I've got no talent at all.
She was calm, and then he spoke. Not his fault. I'm just saying, making observation.
I said nothing about your talent. I simply suggested vermilion over crimson. Do you know vermilion? It's just a softer shade of crimson.
Yeah.
I believe it would... Oh, forget it. This is your artistic vision, and I am but a meddler. I am going to read my book and leave you to your art.
No, it's fine. Say what you want to say.
There you go.
It's good advice. I'll use vermilion. Thank you.
Not surprised she and Ignace didn't have a support. I'm really surprised about that now that I think about it.
Well, I'd best be heading back.
Phew! Finally done. I think.
They gotta walk back together.
All finished?
Please don't look at it.
Everything looks a bit faded, doesn't it? Ironically, crimson may have been a better choice after all.
Huh.
The sense of distance on the petals is a little strange. Perhaps you should pay closer attention to such details as you paint.
Oh, what's that? Point of view? Is that what he's referring to?
A preliminary sketch would do wonders. Still, forget my pedantic comments. You really do have potential.
Bernie?
Bernadetta?
Idiot! Hopeless! A waste of time! Just burn the whole thing, Bernie! Break your stupid brushes and never paint again!
Huh. Perhaps I should have kept my thoughts to myself.
Well, I think both of them, Linhart needs to learn, well, it's not that. I think a normal artist wouldn't mind the comments that he, gave them. He was very respectful in the way that he said it, but it's Bernie. Like, you gotta be careful, at least in this stage, and when you're talking to her. Which, speaking of, I don't imagine Caspar is gonna go any easier.
Hi.
Well, if it isn't Bernadetta, what brings you here?
Am I bothering you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'll come back another time.
Well, don't leave yet, you just got here. Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Yes. Do you remember that time in town?
The sunset was in town?
In town?
Oh.
You mean when all those thieves showed up? Whew, that was rough. I heard a bunch of people got robbed.
No, not that. I mean the time I was carried off.
Some thieves tried to carry you off?
I think she's talking about you, Caspar.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Just tell me which way they went. I'm gonna...
My man.
That's not what I mean. Oh, just forget it.
Wait, don't go. What are you trying to ask me?
Will you really listen this time?
Well, that's ironic. Irony?
Of course. Sorry. You have my full attention.
Do you remember when you carried me to that spot with the really pretty view? Where is that place? I've been looking all over.
The place I took you with the view. Oh, right! Okay, first you go out of the monastery, and actually it's kind of tricky to explain.
Really?
Come on, I'll just take you there again, but pay attention this time.
Huh? Wait, what are you? No, not again!
You could have just walked together.
Stop! Put me down!
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting bee. And, Dorothea.
Hello, Bern. Oh no, what did I do this time? Did I offend you? Is this your revenge?
No, not at all. I just want to talk.
If you promise not to resort to violence, I'll do whatever you want.
Bern, I've just been worried about you, that's all. When I said I was your friend, you ran away, saying something about your father. Remember?
Yeah.
Vaguely?
I know you've lived through some bad times. If you could tell me about it, maybe I could help?
Oh, I don't know.
Please. Your father's not here now. Whatever it is, you're safe to tell me.
You know, I'm getting very cool, like, psychologist vibes from Dorothea right now. Or I guess just out of everybody else, she would be the best person to talk to Bernie. Like that, Edelgard has a presence. So does Hubert. Oh, Ferdinand did pretty good in his B rank. Linhart doesn't have a filter. Caspar, kind of the same thing. And Petra means well, but that didn't go so well either. So, yeah.
All right.
Huh.
My parents told me never to befriend a commoner.
I don't think they've ever sat down. And yet, again, this matches up with Yuri's support.
They said commoners are scum, and that they'd crush any that tried to come near me.
Did they really?
Hang on, scum? They called me, commoners. They called us scum?
I always, well, not always forget, but it's easy to forget that Dorothea is a commoner.
Yeah, but once, a long time ago, I did secretly make friends with one. A boy.
Well, I mean, they're actually mentioning the support right now.
When my father found out about him, he disappeared the very next day.
Yeah, that is true.
I heard he was found beaten half to death. I never saw him again.
That part isn't, though.
Since then, I've been terrified of making friends with anyone. Commoners especially.
Yeah, alright, I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to redo Yuri's support for this route. It's too important to Bernadetta's character.
I never knew that kind of thing really happened. You hear stories, sure, but... Oh, Bern, I'm so sorry.
Because it's very easy for me to believe, because I've seen comments on Yuri's support doing something with Bernadetta's supports or story, and I guess if you want to look at it like that, it's like Yuri's fine, and it kind of makes it seem, I don't feel like it detracts from the story, because, well, I'll have to see it again. Because the feelings are still real.
I'm proud to be your commoner friend.
And her parents are still, like, their mentality is still the same. They're still scumbags.
Dorothea!
And this is nice.
Hey now, relax. There's nothing to bawl about.
No, hold up. She's trembling. That's... Okay, we're gonna move on.
If your dad tried to beat me up, I'd return the favor and then some.
Could you? I don't know how strong the nobles of the Empire are.
Return the favor?
I mean, if Ferdinand's father is anything to compare to, not very. In fact, we should finally get Bernadetta's paralogue this run.
When I was in the opera, you better believe I had run-ins with the most wicked, terrible men. I survived kidnappings, attempted murders, all kinds of stuff. But you know what?
No wonder you have some skill already coming into the monastery.
I broke those guys' arms. Snap! It was a thank you for all the trouble they went through trying to hurt me.
You're incredible, Dorothea.
So, now that you know I can defend myself, can we be friends, Bern?
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Man. Oh, that's wholesome. That's wholesome is... Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need Yuri. I'm gonna need that support one more time. Because now that I didn't have a reference to it before. Some details I might have lost because, well, Bernadetta never mentioned that part until Yuri's support. Man. Alright, well, I'll think about when I'm gonna get him. I mean, why not now? I suppose that's a fair question. So who next? Does anybody else have 4 still? Petra. Okay. Yeah. Petra and Hubert.
Looking out toward Bridget, are you?
Yes. There are some times I cannot stop my thoughts from going home.
Makes sense.
It will be much time before I return. Bridget feels... far away.
Is there like a deadline on that? Or like, are you supposed to be here for a certain amount of time? Or...
It is quite a long way. To say nothing of the sea that lies between here and there.
There is a sea. I suppose it's okay to talk about some stuff now, but I think I'll wait till after support.
Being unable to return must further add to the distance in your mind.
It is as you say. When I return to Bridget, I will be the new queen.
I've never seen that happen.
I am wishing to help relations with the Empire.
I believe you will be successful. You may not be Lady Edelgard's equal, but you are resourceful enough to make an excellent queen.
I understand this is Hubert's way of being a compliment, but that first part just makes me want to go, yank!
And unlike Lady Edelgard, you will not be forced to harden your heart.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Not Edelgard's equal. Is that what you are saying?
Understand that I mean no disrespect by this. But it is a fact that you are far beneath her.
Explain.
Make no mistake about what would happen if you were to raise your banner and revolt against her.
Now listen here, little.
Nah.
She would crush you mercilessly.
Oh yes, she doesn't have nearly as big of an army.
That is not a difference of equality.
Yeah.
It is a difference of power.
Yeah.
Even if our homelands were on equal footing, Lady Edelgard would still prevail.
To be quite honest, I've always thought Petra was a bigger threat than Edelgard the entire time we fought. Swords are more accurate. Petra's crit rate, even though I didn't actually use her, I still ran into it. I'm like, oh no, unless somebody can one-shot Petra, don't even try. Meanwhile, Edelgard, Edelgard had to, I'm assuming, take Rhea's genes to transform into a hybrid in order to hit us. So
I can see with clarity the difference between me and Lady Edelgard. But that has no matter. I would never lose.
How amusing. For your sake, you had better hope you are right.
okay, yeah, let's have a brief intermission real quick. The whole thing with me doing that speech in episode, what was it, 8? Yeah, titled Vietnam Flashbacks, because I was getting that once again. The entire time, I couldn't help but think of what happened to Petra in my route. See, that's both the beauty of Fire Emblem and... Well, no, I still think it's the beauty. It's just if you're doing a Let's Play and people are fans of characters, I understand that is something that will have to be overcome. And Hubert is not making it any easier. During that whole conversation, I was like, I want to prove Petra right. And unfortunately, I never got the chance to in the Golden Deer. Oh man, now I'm even more curious. And besides, that wasn't Petra's B rank with Edelgard. But they only have a B rank. Again, with Claude, it was 4. He had 4 supports with her. It's like, what happened? People make jokes about Lysithea being in the Black Eagle, or belongs in the Black Eagle house, which, by the way, don't even try to claim Lysithea. She is a Golden Deer, all right? If she fits in this route, or like, you know, you can see her obviously because there are the Golden Deer are the only house that have supports with house leaders not their own. For example, Marianne and Raphael had supports with Dimitri. That's the only time you can get them in there. Marianne had a nice place in the Blue Lion route, but she was not actually in the story, you know, not plot relevant like Happy was. Or like Constance is in this route. So no, alright? Don't try to claim Lysithea. Don't do that. But if she, well, we'll see what her supports are with Edelgard in the future. Unfortunately, that is not the support Lysithea has right now. I'm just saying. Before, I don't know how I edited last episode, but I was very much caught up in the emotion. But to be frank, it does not change my view on the war at all. And that's very evident when I come back to supports like Hubert and Petra. Nor does it make me look at Hubert a different way, well, you know, at all as well. It's just, I am curious to see what Edelgard's, where her path will lie. But when I'm going through that route again, I have to face the facts. If I choose that route, while Petra might be fine. Anyways.
Taking care of some weapon maintenance, Petra? You seem completely absorbed.
Yes, taking care of the weapons has great importance.
I cannot argue with that. That weapon there, is it from Bridget?
No, it is a weapon of Dagda. But the people of Bridget used them often.
Right, and I need to see her support with Shamir as well.
Fascinating. I have read about the weapons of Dagda, but this is my first time seeing one in person.
Lots of weapons and fighting techniques came from Dagda to Bridget.
Ah, so Dagda to the west had a big influence on the Bridget archipelago. I am fascinated by foreign fighting techniques. Would you consider teaching me sometime?
Huh.
I will. But it is difficult to explain fighting with words. We can try sparring, maybe?
Yes, a practical demonstration. I would be quite grateful.
Alright.
Let's
Oh.
have our beginning then.
And just on a side note, I've been mentioning Naufmi and Raftalia between Ferdinand and Bernadetta. Petra's VA, who played Mega Drive, you all know how I felt about that, also played a certain character in that show. Thankfully, it has been some time, otherwise I'd have mixed feelings about this, but
Perhaps we should stop there.
Oh? Do you think you have understanding of the fighting techniques from Dagda?
Yes, now that I have experienced it firsthand. I used to look down on foreign fighting styles, but I was clearly remiss.
well, at least you're willing to learn.
The footwork, the nimble way you shift your weight is extraordinary. I will have to remember those moves for the next time I am in battle.
I wish some supports like this gave like a small stat boost. It would be cool. It doesn't have to, you know, that's not a flaw of the game at all. I'm just saying that would be cool.
Clearly, you have honed your skills through practice. Your fist felt as sharp as a spear.
Fists?
Bridget is stuck in between Dagda and Fodlan. It is of much importance to hone our fighting techniques.
I see.
I am of the royal family, but I am a warrior before that. I must fight to live and to protect my home.
See, every single time it mentions... Do you see why? No, we gotta talk about that, too. It's not just that I cared for... I need Well, anybody who played the Black Eagle should understand. Petra is different from the fact that she is not from the Empire. She is the royal family of Bridget. You had other characters in other routes who are missing from the battle, right? Marianne is apparently missing in the Golden Deer's team, right? If you don't recruit her in other routes. I think if I didn't recruit her in the Blue Lions, that's what people told me. And also Annette, I think. If you don't recruit her in the other routes, she goes missing. I'm not sure if that's the case with other characters, but from my experience, in the Golden Deer, all the Black Eagle members, and people confirmed, even Bernadetta, and I'm pretty sure that they were setting that up for her to be in the middle of the battle, of the mock battle of the Eagle and Lion, to when we had the actual thing, and there's, you know, that same platform Bernadetta would stand on. All of the Black Eagle members show up. All of them. So, if any of them had a really good reason for not being there, it would be Petra, because she is defending her home. We had no quarrel with Bridget. So that is why, that's another big reason why I keep mentioning Petra made a difference. Seeing her on the battlefield not once after trying to avoid her, but twice right in the castle, I'm gonna need to hear Edelgard's side on that.
When the alliances of Bridget and Dagda encroached on the Empire, they were always driven back. But perhaps the Empire's victory was due to geographic advantage or divine intervention, rather than military superiority.
Now see, look at what my man Ferdinand's doing. He's saying, you know, it doesn't even have to be military superiority. It could be geographical advantage, but I do think if you were trying to do a naval battle, you know, travel your forces across the sea, and then land and try to attack, that's rough.
Having met you, that is what I think.
And yet, Petra's a beast. Petra's a beast.
I cannot help but feel a little disgraced. I held foreign fighting styles in such low regard without ever seeing them for myself.
And Ferdinand is rapidly, I mean, I already liked him, but like, from all the dudes in the game, okay, excluding, okay, let me think about that, all right? Because in the Golden Deer, yeah, okay, well there's some good dudes in the game, but like, Ferdinand's probably gonna end up being one of my favorites. I can already see that.
When I came to Fodlan, I felt disgraced for many things that I learned.
And I need to say nothing of Petra.
But there is no disgrace in losing ignorance. We need to be learning and growing with each other.
Yes.
Always.
Yes, there we go. Yes, learn from each other. Yes, exactly.
Yes, by working together we can make progress.
Yep.
And both sides need to look ahead to the future.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. I am part of a program that taught that very same philosophy. Bunch of different people coming together, you know, just saying people of different thoughts and opinions. It can cause chaos as well, and you know, lead to war. But if they work together, they can create something truly spectacular. As my man Claude said,
the strength to scale the walls between us.
yeah.
To reach out our hands in friendship so we can open our true hearts to one another. That's how we win!
You know what, to be honest, when I first heard that line from Claude, I thought it was kind of cheesy. The more we go through this game, I'm like, you know, it fits. It fits. Let's continue.
Linhardt, I have been waiting for much time. Please, watch me.
Watch what, Petra? Whoa! Hey, careful with that spear!
How did you find that? I did more training.
Ah, you took my advice then.
She did it.
I will say, the problematic maneuver seems improved at least.
At least? It is still no good?
The spear isn't really my area of expertise, but I've seen enough training to understand the mechanics. I believe I can use that understanding to further help you improve your spear work.
Well, again, she shouldn't be using a spear. She has no need. Swords and bows.
My spear work.
Right. As I said, when you lift up and stab down, the momentum is ruined.
Unless she's all of a sudden gonna get a buff and spears after this.
You're trying to swing like a giant. You're not a giant, so that's a problem.
Huh.
So allow the spear's own momentum to do more of the hard work for you.
Yeah, I can. That's a good way of putting it.
Spear momentum.
The spear is heavy.
Oh.
When you lift it up high, loosen your grip a little.
I was about to say, does she not know what momentum is?
At the top of my swing, loosen my grip. And then the weight will carry it down?
Mm-hmm.
Precisely. When you put too much power into it, not only do you exhaust your grip, you tire yourself out. Got it? All that effort is taking its toll on me.
Right.
You are very clever. I wonder why you have hatred for training.
I'm pretty sure he has a legitimate condition.
Because training is too much like fighting, and I'd really rather not fight. Also, I find training terribly dull. Anyway, good night.
He does not use his cleverness. It is a very big waste. I want you to use your power, Linhart.
Oh, he doesn't like to fight. And that's another thing. How does Edelgard... 'cause so many of them seem like right now, if Edelgard were to ask them to join her, they disagree. But I guess if it's a fight to end all fights, but for you to participate in that fight? I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright, and then Caspar. Oh.
Caspar, that equipment is new. It is suiting. It suits you.
That's right, this got heavy last time.
Oh, right. Thanks.
You get more strength each day. I do not want to be falling behind.
I'm impressed with how much stronger you've gotten too. More than I had.
I mean, you're not wrong, but Petra's a beast among all three of my houses. I've been thinking about who I would recruit for like the ultimate team, and yeah, I'm definitely would have to say Petra would have to be on that team.
No, Caspar, you are impressing to me. I want to be training with you.
Just hold on, Petra.
What is wrong?
It's your attitude. How can you act so casual around me? My father killed your father. You shouldn't be able to stand the sight of me.
That had nothing to do with you, man.
You actually hate me, right? That's fine. I can take it. I completely understand. Just be honest. Give it to me straight. If our roles were reversed, I don't think I'd be able to forgive you. I don't understand how you could just...
That's interesting that you mentioned that, Caspar.
You are not the one who did the killing, Caspar. Our parents had conflict, but we are not them.
I hate that I killed Petra. I really do. I really do.
I have no worry about it. You should not either.
I don't need to worry? Impossible! I don't think I'll ever be...
You must. If not, the conflict will keep carrying on.
You did not? Are you hitting him with the pain quote?
We're both just ordinary men who have been driven to seek vengeance in the name of justice. And if one comes to call vengeance justice, such justice will only breed further vengeance and trigger a vicious cycle of hatred.
No! No!
If children cannot forgive,
oh
it
no,
will not ever have an ending.
Oh no.
Is that what you are wanting?
Oh no. No, I look, not that was... Nah, fam. Nah, I cannot believe I lost.
Of course not.
Petra's amazing.
Please, give it something.
Oh my.
I will be leaving now.
Oh my gosh. It takes a big person to do that. I certainly wouldn't blame someone for holding resentment toward another. I would say yes, of course, the ideal thing is, you know, they aren't their parents. I remember there was something that I watched recently where that was the case, where a villain was created and they said, hey, because of what your parents did to my parents, I'm going to do the same thing to the people you care about. It's like, well, I'm not them. You know, I didn't ask to be, well, I mean, I love my parents. All right, let me just say that. But still, you know, children don't ask to be born from their parents. It's not like they say, hey, this really villainous person, I want to be their child. Although I'm not saying that that's Caspar's father. Just saying, you know, they aren't them. They aren't them. I gotta keep mentioning it. Just to be frank, so far what I thought of many of the Black Eagle members just continues to be proven. So we'll see. And I'm saying that to say that what was I trying to say in that support? Well, how Caspar, he said, you know, if I was in your position, that I can see myself forgiving you. It's that same kind of just that Caspar's family emotions seem like they rule first, which isn't necessarily a. Anyways, we'll probably come back to that. I like Caspar, all right? I do. I'm enjoying my time with him. I'm just saying, I noticed that stuff before. Am I rethinking some ranking? Oh yeah, of course I'm rethinking some ranking. Some of the Black Eagles are really good characters. Not that I ever doubted that. It's just, I'm actually starting to see that. And now it is time for the question of the day, and oh my gosh, everyone. Before, when I took out Petra and the Golden Deer, I simply only had her B rank. And she was, out of the characters that I had taken out, the one I had gotten close to. And that alone hurt, but now, it was crossing my mind in the episode, but I'm already starting to compare her with Shamir and Happy. And we're not even in the A rank. We're not even post time skip. So much of what Petra was saying this episode really resonated with me. And now more than ever, I wish to see her support with Claude simply because I think they would have some interesting conversations. Like I mentioned in this episode, the Golden Deer members are the only ones that have supports with house leaders, not their own, but that actually wasn't true because Claude is able to have some Blue Lion supports and Black Eagle supports. And more than anything, I'm just curious to see what he and Petra would talk about because I feel like their outlook on life in general is very similar. Which brings us to the question of the day. I'm curious, if you were in Petra's position, do you think you would hold any resentment towards Caspar? Because I'm going to be honest, I am not sure if I could say the same, though I was thinking about it. One thing we have to remember is that Petra is a true blue warrior. She has killed people. Everyone in the Black Eagles, Blue Lions, and Golden Deer, even Marianne, Annette, Bernadetta. By this point, everybody has taken someone out. And I think from that standpoint, if you're in a kill or be killed kind of mindset, I think it's more understandable to say that your father lost his life in battle. But I think most of us, if not all of us here, are civilians, so I feel like it would hit a lot more for that type of scenario to play out. So there's no shame in saying, yeah, you might have some resentment towards Caspar, and it's not him specifically, I'm just, using their roles to kind of set up the question of the day. There's no shame in that at all. Like I said in this episode, I think it takes a pretty big person to be able to do that. So with that being said, please post your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.